Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Roach Gymnasium on the campus of the Boston Latin School in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of tonight's high school varsity girls basketball contest between the hosting Wolfpack of Boston Latin School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. This should make for a fun one for a lot of reasons, but as you can see, we only got about 2.5 minutes on our pregame clock. Setting up, parking in the city, finding the entrance to the school, finding the gym. It's been a hectic evening for our broadcast crew here today, so we're going to try and go through this quick. And first off, part of why I say us and broadcast crew is because I am not alone on tonight's broadcast. Joining me as my color commentator is Brookline High sophomore Sam Lowenstein, and you'll hear from him once this game gets going. But like I said, we're moving a little quick, so I have to unfortunately cut him off for the pregame, which stinks, but we'll get things going, I promise, and Sam will have plenty of great commentary for us as this game goes. But also, a partner with us here for this broadcast is our local sponsor, as this broadcast is brought to you in part by Brookline Proven, your local source for home improvement contractors. BHS sports parent Paul Hom and his team can do anything, from remodels to handyman honey-do lists and even snow and ice removal during these colder months of the year. They live in Brookline, they work in Brookline, and they know just what a Brookline home needs. Visit brklnproven.com or text Paul at 617-352-8829 to find out more and discuss the scheduling, pricing, and specifics of the services your home needs. Once again, that's brklnproven.com or text 617-352-8829. And thank you again to Brookline Proven for sponsoring this broadcast. And you can see all the information you need about Brookline Proven down in the bottom center of your screen, as well as down in the description section of this video down below. Just 35 seconds before we get this one underway, and I believe it is senior night for the Boston Latin School Wolfpack, so we'll likely get some pregame ceremonies for them, and then we'll be able to get this contest underway. So once the PA announcer for BLS takes over, we'll just keep quiet and let them go through their ceremonies. So they're cutting the music. PA announcer should be taking over momentarily. Again, you can see the scoreboard cam in the bottom left corner of your screen to let you know while the time's running as pregame clock runs out. So the PA announcer will take over any second now. One thing to note, fans, the Wi-Fi less than perfect here at the Boston Latin School. So if any important plays get cut out, I want you to speak up and say something in the live chat so that I'll know to upload the fully recorded version of this broadcast later tonight if necessary. Overall, the connection's been pretty good. We've only dropped about 4% of our video frames so far in the pregame. And, here's hoping the number stays that low. PA announcer will take over any minute. There it is.
Welcome to Boston Latin School for tonight's matchup between the Brookline High School Warriors and your Boston Latin School Wolfpack. Tonight is senior night for the BLS girls basketball team. We'll honor and acknowledge our lone senior for her dedication and hard work and everything she's put into the program for the last 6 years. But first, we want to take time to acknowledge and honor the seniors from Brookline High School. First Brookline senior is Jada Kimbrough. congratulations to the Brookline seniors. At this time, I'd like to bring up Coach Oriana to say a few words about the senior class.
First off, I want to thank all of you for coming out to help us celebrate. Mia's pretty special. She has been part of this varsity team for 4 years now. We were looking back at some of the pictures, and there are some of the alumni who played with her here to help celebrate. And I just want to say, one of the things about Mia, if you know her, you know that she constantly has a smile on her face. She's just one of the sweetest people that I know, one of the deadliest shooters that I know, and she just, this kid, she has left an imprint on all of us, and I just wanted to let you know too, Mia, that Coach Ian sends his love. He wishes he could be here for you, but he's down at Duke delivering babies at Duke Medical School. So I want to thank all the parents here. I want to thank Mia's parents specifically for having such a beautiful young lady and for allowing her to be part of our program. It just means the world to us that she's been here this long, and we're so grateful. And Mia, we love you. Let's have a good one, baby.
And our lone senior, number 21, Mia Salavala. Again, welcome to Ready Boston School for Senior Night. We ask that everybody in attendance please show proper respect and sportsmanship to all players, coaches, spectators, and officials in tonight's contest. Now for the starting lineups. First, the visitors from Brookline. Number 4, Isaac Wheeler. Number 22, Mayfield-Sheehan. Number 13, Nefeli Auger-Kitch. Number 3, Jaden Kimbrough. And number 21, Skylar Makoleski. Now starting lineup for your Boston High School Wolfpack. At guard, a sophomore, number 11, Kate Houlihan. At forward, a junior, number 22, Chloe Taylor. At guard, junior captain, number 3, Mae Brink. At guard, junior captain, number 33, Kenzie O'Brien. And at guard, senior captain, number 21, Mia Salavala. we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, those were our starting lineups, national anthem, and before that, a nice pregame ceremony for senior night. Boston Latin School, classy stuff there, honoring Brookline's seniors Jada Kimbrough, Nefeli Agakich, and Ivy Wheeler, as well as their own lone senior Mia Saravales. So, you know, pretty positive note to start the night off, don't you think, Sam?
Oh, definitely, Jesse. This should be a very interesting game going into this one. The Warriors, Brookline, they're on a 3-game winning streak right now. 9-7 record. Won their last game against Framingham by 20, but they had 2 close wins before that over Wellesley and Newton North, so they've proven that they can win these tough matchups. Should be a fun one tonight.
Absolutely. If Brookline wins tonight, they will eclipse their win total from last year by getting win number 10, as they are on their way to a playoff berth here, ranked 19th in the MIAA Division I power rankings that were updated this morning. Boston Latin entering this with a record of 6-10, ranked 47th in the power rankings. Here we go for the opening tip-off. Skylar Makaluski against Chloe Taylor, Warriors and Wolfpack. Here we go. The opening tip controlled by Nefeli Agakich as Brookline gets the opening possession. Agakich from the wing, hands off to Kimbrough. Jada Kimbrough hands off to Skylar Makaluski. Makaluski spins inside, weaving around, looks, pass out to Kimbrough, over to the corner. Ivy Wheeler running baseline, going for the layup, no good. Rebound by Agakich, pass out, Makaluski trying for 3, no good. Rebound by Emerson Chan, getting the start today as a freshman. Pass out to Kimbrough. Kimbrough almost lost the ball, recovered by Chan. A chaotic first possession as they go to the floor, and Chan tips it out where Agakich can recover it. Agakich forcing her way through. Pass out, Wheeler. Up top, Makaluski knifing through. Pass out, Agakich. Long 2 from the baseline, no good. And now BLS comes away with the ball, rebounded by the senior, Mia Saravales. The Wolfpack now get their first possession. Ball is bounced over to number 11, Maeve Houlihan. Houlihan gives to Chloe Taylor. Taylor gives to Maeve Ring. Ring fires from the top for 3, no good off the front of the rim. Rebound by Kimbrough. Kimbrough running it in transition. Slows it down as Brookline operates in the half court. Chan driving in, hits a wall, and they're going to call the defensive foul there. Emerson Chan will go to the line for 2 free throws.
And great ball movement there from Brookline. Really excellent spacing. Had a couple kick-out passes. Wide open look from Makaluski. It just missed, but those are the kind of looks that the Warriors are going to want to get.
And my mistake, it was not a shooting foul, and so it's simply an inbound for Brookline. The foul was called on Maeve Ring. First personal, first team. Agakich gives to Kimbrough. Kimbrough sees a lane, runs in. Floater won't go. Rebound tipped and corralled by the Wolfpack. It's taken by Taylor. And now given to Ring, who walks it up the floor. Ring picks up her dribble, looking for a passing option. Swings it out, looking for Saravales, and the ball touches out of bounds. Saravales couldn't recover it with Chan Haslin are there. It'll be Brookline ball.
For BLS, interesting looking at the past games that they've played. The games have generally been low scoring. They're on a 2-game win streak right now, but one of those games, a big outlier, 45-point win against a low-ranked opponent.
Makaluski goes for the inside shot, no good, and it goes off her hands, out of bounds.
Brookline getting some small opportunities, but nothing really clear-cut outside of that one shot from Makaluski from 3.
Ring gives to Saravales. Saravales pass gets to Ring. Ring starting to drive, pass out, deflected by Agakic, but recovered. Kenzie O'Brien running in, kicks it out. Now faking running in is Houlihan, running floater, won't go. Picked up off the floor by Agakic, and she gets sandwiched between defenders. That'll be a foul against the Wolfpack, and Brookline will have the inbound.
Again, this BLS team, a lot of tenacious defense. Their games have been more low scoring than the average. Just looking back at some of them, they lost their last game 44-30, so even if they're not putting up the highest numbers, they're still able to keep it close.
And that foul was called against Kenzie O'Brien, her first personal, as Kimbrough passes over to Makaluski, tossed it out to Agakic. Makaluski going inside, she's got a lane, and she draws the foul on the shot, and she'll go to the line for 2 as we are still searching for the first points of this ball game.
And it's been an awfully physical game as well, and I think those things have really complemented each other because the defense has been so tight. It's resulted in more fouls, but it's also resulted in less offensive output.
Makaluski in and out on the first free throw. The Wolfpack doing a good job sinking their defense in whenever Brookline goes for the dribble drive, and Brookline not hitting their shots from outside so far. As Makaluski off the front rim misses both. It's a scramble for the rebound, and it's recovered by the Wolfpack as Saravales gets it out to O'Brien. O'Brien brings it up, now looking for a pass, bounces it over to Ring. Ring gives to O'Brien. O'Brien running in, stops, bounce pass over to Taylor, out to the corner. Houlihan tries for 3, overshoots it. Rebound O'Brien, trying the putback, no dice, rebound Makaluski. Makaluski forced to pick up her dribble, almost lost it, and it's another reach foul as the physicality from Boston Latin continues. That'll be their 4th team foul here in the first quarter, just 3 minutes in. Second personal foul on O'Brien.
And that was a great pass to the corner, getting a wide open 3-pointer. Didn't fall, but a good look there for BLS.
Kimbrough gives to Makaluski at the top. Hands off Agakic, gonna try for 3. Banks it in, and we have our first points. Nefeli Agakic puts Brookline on the board first.
Man, that's incredible. After more than 3 minutes, we finally get our first points. I've never seen that before.
And now running it fast off the steal. Kimbrough tries for 3, no good. Rebound tipped, and Wheeler gets it out to Agakic. Agakic directing traffic from the wing, hands off to Wheeler. Wheeler, after fighting for that offensive rebound, gives to Emerson Chan. Chan throws to the corner. Makaluski running baseline. Tried to throw it across, but got bumped, and she's going to go to the line for bonus free throws here as we can take a look at the replay of that 3-ball from Agakic.
Already in the bonus here. Not even halfway through the first quarter, but looking at this BLS team, their season, they started out 0-3, but they had losses of 1 point and 5 points. So this is a team that can definitely keep it close, and we're seeing that here in the early going.
Makaluski hits the first of 2 free throws as we got a substitution checking in for Boston Latin. This is number 23, Maria Portorial. Makaluski 2 for 2 at the line as Brookline goes up 5-0. Makaluski her first points of the night. Another sub that's come in for Boston Latin, number 5, Patterson. Patterson pass up, finds Taylor. Taylor floats it out to Saravales. Saravales from the wing, throws it down to the corner. Patterson picks up her dribble, trying to fit a pass through. 2 hops over to Houlihan. Houlihan out to Patterson. Patterson running inside, trying to throw out the left-handed layup, and she hits it. Patterson off the bench gets the Wolfpack on the board. Agakic with the ball. Looking around, hands off Chan. Chan running across, gives Makaluski. Makaluski hands off to Kimbrough. Now to Makaluski, handoff Kimbrough. Kimbrough throws, Makaluski juggles it. Loose ball is recovered by Wheeler, given to Chan in the corner. Chan running baseline, pass through, finds Aga Kitch. And oh, they say no shot. They say she traveled. Oh, that's a tough call. And Brookline turns it over.
Earlier in that possession, Emerson Chan was wide open in the right corner. Aga Kitch opted not to pass it to her, instead went for the dribble handoff, and although an opportunity for Brookline, they could not execute.
Brookline trying to look for higher percentage shots.
Came off of Makaluski.
That one. No, they called a foul. That foul was called against Makaluski. First personal, first team foul. Only the first foul of the game for Brookline, as BLS already in the bonus. As this pass a little errant, but chased down by Saravalles, gives to Patterson. Patterson with the only points for BLS so far. Throws out to the corner. Houlihan fakes, runs in, floater, banks in. Maeve Houlihan gets on the board for Boston Latin and cuts it down to a 1-point game.
And what a play by Houlihan, faked out the double team.
Wheeler gives to Makaluski. Makaluski throws to the corner. Chan gonna try that corner three. No dice. Rebound. Tracked down by Makaluski. Gives to Wheeler. Pass got away from Aga Kitch, but Brookline gets lucky as it goes off the hand of Saravalles.
Well, Chan continues to be open in the right corner. That time, the Warriors go to her, and she almost makes it. Missed the shot, but a good look.
And that inbound could not be collected by Makaluski, taken away by Taylor. This long inbound disrupted, or this long pass disrupted by Kimbrough, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wolfpack.
J.D. Kimbrough came in like an absolute slingshot there out of nowhere.
Patterson almost lost it. Pass misses, intercepted Aga Kitch. Looking for the long pass to Kimbrough. Kimbrough going inside, layup won't go. As that one out of bounds, Boston Latin ball.
Well, Boston Latin, another interesting thing about them is their average margin of defeat is much larger than their average margin of victory. Their average margin of victory, they do have one outlier with a 45-point win, so overall 4.3 average points for the margin of victory. But if you take out that outlier, for all intents and purposes, their average margin of victory would only be by 8.2 if you're counting 5 out of their 6 wins, whereas our average margin of defeat is 17.
A timeout called there, 2:07 on the clock here in the first. Brookline 5, Boston Latin 4. As, well, that's an apt time for our Wi-Fi to go slightly on the fritz. Looks like, is it gonna recover? Looks like it's recovering, maybe not. Again, if anything goes glitchy during play and we miss some big plays, just let me know here in the live chat on YouTube, and I'll know to upload the recording, but it looks like it's stabilized and it looks like we should be okay. Close physical game so far here in Boston. Patterson walking it up for the Wolfpack. Down to the corner. Pass down low. Houlihan gives out to Patterson. Runs baseline. Pass across. Almost stolen. Now it is picked up. Sherry Artsy off the bench. Gets fouled when running in transition, and that is going to send her to the line for 2 as Brookline is shooting the bonus.
And the fouls continue to pile up here in the first quarter, but it's worked out for Boston Latin. They've been very physical, and yes, that came with some fouls. Brookline already was at the bonus before halfway here in the first quarter, but when you think about it defensively, Warriors only with 5 points. It's worked out well for Boston Latin.
And make it 6 as Sherry Artsy hits the first of 2 free throws. That foul was called against Maria Portorial, her first personal. Artsy off on the second, goes 1 for 2 at the line. Portorial with the rebound. And that pass just, bit of a mistake, got herself caught around the half-court line, didn't want a backcourt violation and just miscommunicated on the pass. Kimbrough looking around, gives to Makaluski. Makaluski hands off Aga Kitch. Hands off to Artsy. Artsy running in, fighting through for the layup, no good. Rebound tipped and collected by the Wolfpack. That's Saravalles. Saravalles gives to Patterson. Patterson over to Houlihan. Houlihan down low. Taylor fighting in, blocked, and they call a foul on Makaluski.
That was awfully close. Said that she just made contact, barely. Boston Latin doing a great job here in the first quarter just to stay in this game. Again, on paper, Brookline, the stronger team last year when they played, Warriors won 55-48, but this Boston Latin team can really stick around. Very scrappy.
First free throw is no good from Chloe Taylor as Makaluski, with 2 fouls to her name, is going to sub out as Ivy Wheeler comes back in for Brookline. So the Warriors will be relying on Chan and Artsy down low, with Makaluski, their primary shot blocker, now on the bench. 1 for 2 at the line for Taylor as she gets her first point of the night. A 1-point ball game once again at 6-5 as Kimbrough running the floor finds a lane but doesn't have the angle. Shot won't go. Rebound won by Portorial. Pass given back to Patterson. Patterson off a screen. Throws it up to Taylor. Taylor down to the baseline. Looking around. Out to Saravalles. Less than a minute to go in the quarter as Saravalles runs in. Blocked by Wheeler. Recovered by Artsy, and Artsy gets fouled again, colliding with Houlihan, and she'll go back to the line.
Man, yet another foul in this game, but for Brookline, you have to think Skylar Makaluski now in a bit of foul trouble. That must be the reason why she's subbed out.
Second personal foul there on Houlihan. And Artsy gets the rim bounce on her first free throw. Got 2 points so far tonight, both of them at the stripe, as Houlihan, in similar foul trouble, gonna sub out for number 0, U. Some of the players for Boston Latin we have only got the last names for. As Artsy again 1 for 2 at the line. Wheeler couldn't grasp that rebound. It's picked up by Saravalles. Saravalles running the floor, pass out, Portorial for 3. No good, rebound by Kimbrough. Kimbrough bringing it up, less than 40 seconds to go in the quarter as Wheeler receives the pass. Throws up top, Artsy. Artsy trying to run inside. 1 step too many, and they call the travel.
Was a nice move by Artsy, but definitely looked like she took that 1 extra step, just barely.
Brookline showing press, but they're pulling it back as Patterson gets it across half court with ease. Pass down low, stolen away by Wheeler. Wheeler running on the fast break, throws it up to Kimbrough. Kimbrough's got it, going underneath. Layup is good. First points of the night for Jada Kimbrough as Brookline gets the fast break going. Seconds left, and I think they're going to call a foul on Aga Kitch for forcing you out of bounds. And that'll be Brookline's 3rd foul. It'll be an inbound for Boston Latin with 4.1 seconds left before the end of the quarter. You looking, inbound, complete to Portorial. Portorial fires for 3, no good at the buzzer. And that is how the first quarter will end. Our score at the end of 1, Brookline 9, Boston Latin 5. And during this break between quarters, I'd like to remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Brookline Proven, your local source for home improvement contractors. BHS sports parent Paul Hom and his team can do anything from remodels to handyman honeydew lists and even snow and ice removal during these colder winter months. They live in Brookline, they work in Brookline, and they know just what a Brookline home needs. Visit brklnproven.com or text Paul at 617-352-8829 to find out more and discuss the scheduling, pricing, and specifics of the services your home needs. Once again, that's brklnproven.com or text 617-352-8829. And thank you again to Brookline Proven for sponsoring this broadcast. And of course, all that information about Brookline Proven down in the bottom center of your screen, as well as in the description section down below. We'll soon be getting the second quarter underway. Low-scoring 4-point ball game so far. And Sam, like you said, this kind of the business as usual for Boston Latin, and we can see why with how physically they attack on defense.
100% scrappy is really the word to describe them, and they've made it very difficult for Brookline. Also, when you think about it, some of these games that the Warriors have been playing, they've put up high offensive totals as of late. That those 75 points against Wellesley, 61 against Newton North, only 9 in the first quarter.
This ball knocked loose. Emerson Chan trying to chase down the loose ball, but Saravales goes to the floor, and it ends up being a jump ball. Possession arrow to Brookline as Boston Latin had just inbounded the ball for the first possession of the quarter. And we got a wide open Sherry Artsy for this inbound. Brookline caught Boston Latin in a rare lapse on defense, and Sherry Artsy takes advantage. She's got 4 points as Chloe Taylor steps out of bounds. Back-to-back turnovers for Boston Latin and a big lapse on defense. Sloppy start for the Wolfpack.
Well, definitely, but that's also been something that's been bound to happen in some ways. Boston Latin has had Brookline players wide open for a while, not as open as there, but the Warriors just haven't seen the passes until then.
Well, there's a big difference between wide open under the hoop and wide open behind the three-point line. Chan with the ball. Trying to fight inside, fighting through, left-handed layup won't go. Rebound collected by Yu. 11-5, the Brookline lead. Patterson, pass, gets to Taylor. Gets it through to Portorial, almost lost the ball, and now Ivy Wheeler jumping on it, and they whistle the jump ball. Possession arrow to Boston Latin, but Ivy Wheeler, in the absence of the size of Skylar Makaluski, she's really stepped up in fighting for loose balls.
And Brookline's been awfully physical here in the second quarter. That's a reason why they've had success. They've been able to adapt.
Portorial fighting inside, contested shot won't go. Rebound by Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch running in transition, taking it inside herself, fighting through for the shot, won't go, but draws the foul.
Such a strong drive there from Nefeli Aga Kitch. Solid spacing for Brookline, allows for Aga Kitch to go straight to the rim. Wait a minute.
They called
offensive foul potentially?
No, they called a jump ball and gave it to the Wolfpack for the second straight time.
They called a jump ball?
They must have. Or maybe a travel on Aga Kitch.
Maybe a travel.
That's the only thing. I wasn't looking at the ref's signals. I was looking at my scoreboard. But anyway, three-point attempt for the Wolfpack, no good. But a rebound there. Putting up the putback won't go for number 32, Young McZeek. But then lost by Brookline, picked up by Taylor. Taylor down to the baseline, covered tight by Kimbrough, throws it out to Patterson. Patterson tries for three, no dice. Rebound by Young McZeek. Pass out to the corner, Saravales for three, no good. Rebound by Kimbrough. Kimbrough now running the floor in transition, flanked by a couple of teammates, throws out to Wheeler, tries for three, nothing but nets. Ivy Wheeler with a nice three-pointer. Brookline's just second made shot from beyond the arc so far tonight. Patterson taking it the other way, firing for a long two, no good. Rebound bouncing around, picked up by Chan, and Chan gets fouled in transition by Saravales.
Incredible transition basketball from Brookline there. The pass to the left corner, and again, this has been a couple times where this has happened. Open shots, yes, they've been from beyond the arc, but that time the Warriors hit, and just like that, it was an awfully close game at the end of the first. Brookline really pulling away just a little bit here in the second.
A 5-0 run to start the second quarter as Kimbrough almost lost her dribble off the foot of Maeve Ring. Passes up to Ivy Wheeler. Wheeler's pass complete to Aga Kitch. Aga Kitch driving in, throws out to Izzy Wood in the corner, who's checked in. Now back out to Makaluski, and around the horn they go to Kimbrough. Step back three attempt off the front rim. Rebound Aga Kitch, and she travels. Aga Kitch didn't like the call, but I got to be honest, I think that was correct. She took a couple of steps off of that rebound. They're not going to give that one to you.
That's what it looks like. She's had a couple travels, and Brookline's had a couple baskets chalked off for travels as well.
Maeve Ring with the ball for BLS. Lost the ball, but it's recovered there by Taylor. Taylor throws it out to O'Brien. Kenzie O'Brien pass deflected by Makaluski, picked up by Wheeler, running the floor, pass through, Aga Kitch, fast break, layup is good. Nefeli Aga Kitch with the basket, and how about Skylar Makaluski tipping that ball away from behind her back.
And Boston Latin struggled in transition defense.
Houlihan gives the pass over to Taylor. Taylor gives to Ring. Ring running in, shot won't go, gets her own rebound. Pass out to Young McZeek. Throws down low, fighting through O'Brien, shot won't go, gets her own rebound, gives to Taylor. Taylor now fighting, layup again no good, rebound Young McZeek, and now a foul is called on Makaluski. That's her third foul, they might have to sit her again.
She'd already gotten to foul trouble in the first quarter, and it continues to be an issue. She's still on the floor right now.
Well, it's 2 free throws, a lot of times subs happen after the first.
Definitely, but for Brookline, they've really been able to exploit the transition defense struggles of Boston Latin. That has been a huge issue for BLS.
And indeed, Makaluski will check out in favor of Shiri Artsy as Young McZeek hits the first of 2 free throws. And she hits them both. First points of the quarter for the Wolfpack, and it's now 16-7. Ivy Wheeler throwing down low to Artsy. Quick tap out. Kimbrough for 3. No good, overshoots it. And Houlihan going to box out Izzy Wood and let that one bounce out of bounds.
Young McZeek, such a force inside, Jesse.
She's definitely been strong on the rebounds for the Wolfpack as Kenzie O'Brien running the floor. Pass inside gets to Taylor. Taylor has got a lane under the hoop. Chloe Taylor now at 3 points tonight. And a bit of a scoring run for Boston Latin. 4 unanswered points. Aga Kitch gives to Wheeler, to Wood in the corner. Wood trying to dribble through. Pass. Aga Kitch gives to Kimbrough. Kimbrough sees a lane, runs in, floater, rolls in. Jada Kimbrough's got such nice touch on those running floaters. Gives her some different variety she can bring out when she drives to the hoop. 4 points for Kimbrough tonight as Houlihan trying to get across half court, covered tight by Wood. Pass gets to Taylor. Taylor looking around, out to Young McZeek. Fakes, runs in, pass out. Houlihan open for 3, no good. Rebound tipped and collected by O'Brien. O'Brien throws it out. Houlihan fakes, gives to Taylor. Taylor lost the ball, but goes to the floor to recover it. But because she went to the floor, they called the travel. And a timeout called by Brookline here, 18-9. Brookline leads, and Sam, you mentioned how strong Brookline was at the start of the quarter in transition. And if fans who saw the Framingham game for Brookline earlier this week know that maybe half, maybe even more than half of Brookline's points came in transition, either off of turnovers or off of rebounds. Brookline's just able to run the floor really well. They've got a lot of speedy players that know how to see and trust in their teammates to grab a loose ball and take off running.
Definitely, and that benefits them, especially in a game like this that has a lot of turnovers, very defensive focus. They've had a lot of open threes, and if Brookline can hit those shots, those 3 balls add up.
Yeah, but that's just a good point, Sam. If you're not able to find success in the half court because of a tight opposing defense, make it happen in the full court. Get running up and down, and you'll find the easy baskets.
That's what we've seen this quarter. It's still been low scoring, but Brookline's just been a touch ahead of Boston Latin. They're making the shots when they get the opportunities.
Well, Brookline has already matched their total from the entire first quarter here through the first 5 minutes of the second quarter. 9 points in this second frame so far. 18-9. Brookline's lead as we come out of the timeout. Kimbrough off a screen, trying to knife her way through, finds a lane. Jada Kimbrough slicing and dicing for the layup.
Incredible moves there from Kimbrough.
Brookline applying a light press here as Houlihan dribbling against Wheeler. Floats a pass up to Ring off the double team. Ring fires the running 3. Oh, and a sloppy mistake from Kimbrough. She had her hands up, and it brushed against the arm of Ring. That's going to be 3 free throws for Maeve Ring.
Mistake there from Kimbrough, but Jada Kimbrough has been such an X factor here in this second quarter. 6 points overall on the game, and the big reason why she's been such an X factor is she's able to be effective inside. Besides her, the Warriors have had to take a lot of 3 balls, and especially here at the high school level, the 3-point game is not going to be generally as consistent as if you can be effective inside.
Maeve Ring 0 for 2 so far out of the 3 free throws she gets, as Kimbrough, after committing her first personal foul, gonna sub out for number 5, Allison Levy. And Ring hits 1 of 3 at the line, gets her first point of the game. Aga Kitch runs it across half court. Now trying to drive in, pass out, Artsy fakes the 3, runs inside, running floater is good. Shiri Artsy starting to make it happen inside herself. She's got 6 points tonight. Ring running the floor, and that pass knocked out of bounds by Shiri Artsy, who's really come alive and has already tied her career high for points in a single game. Saravalles throws it across to the corner to Houlihan. Back inside, Saravalles gives out to Young McZeek. Tried the shot on the run, no good. Rebound by Artsy. Artsy covered tight, passes away to Aga Kitch. 22-10, the Brookline advantage as Aga Kitch gives to Wood. Wood sees a lane, runs in, layup goes in. Izzy Wood coming off a tie for her career high with 13 points against Framingham earlier this week. She's got her first points of the night. Young McZeek throws out to Houlihan, tries for 3, no dice there. Rebound by Allison Levy. Quick passing, and now Aga Kitch running the floor with numbers. Pass, Wheeler tries for 3, banks it in! Ivy Wheeler with a couple of trays tonight. She's got 6, and Brookline coming alive here in the second frame as they now lead by 17.
Warriors continue to be effective in the transition game. How about Ivy Wheeler with Skylar Mokaleski in foul trouble? Wheeler comes in, getting more time on the court, and she's made a huge impact, Jesse.
Well, the thing about Ivy Wheeler, she is a starter. She does get plenty of playing time.
Not as many baskets.
Exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth, Sam. Wheeler, a player more known for her defensive abilities, her ability to scrap for loose balls, but every once in a while, when she finds her rhythm, she can be a capable scorer herself. She's got 6, tied for the team lead with Kimbrough and Artsy. And our view of the right side of the court is about to get much worse as some fans crowding in here on this right side. Brookline trying to get a bit of a cheering section going here. We might have a little bit of trouble seeing the right corner. Actually, they're positioning themselves pretty generously here. I think we can still got a view of the most of the court here. But the Brookline fans bringing the noise here. Ring throws it up, complete to O'Brien. O'Brien up top, stolen. Artsy taking off with it on the fast break, goes for the layup, no good. Rebound picked up by the Wolfpack. Taking it the other way is Ring. Pass up, caught by O'Brien. O'Brien almost lost it. Her foot went on the line. And who else was it scrapping for that loose ball, forcing that out of bounds? Shiri Artsy, having herself a game so far.
All of these scrappy players for Brookline, Ivy Wheeler, Shiri Artsy, they're feasting off of this defensive game.
And Aga Kitch couldn't feast on that 3-ball. Rebound by O'Brien. Pass through, stolen by Wheeler. Wheeler almost lost it out of bounds, but instead gives it away. O'Brien with the reverse layup. She gets her first points, but Brookline running fast. Izzy Wood almost lost it. Pass out, Allison Levy trying for 3. Allison Levy adding to the fun here with another shot from downtown as Brookline reaches 30 points.
Yet another great pass from Brookline back to the outside as the Brookline section makes their presence known.
Portorial with the ball, 10 seconds left, tries for 3, no dice, rebound Wood, pass up Aga Kitch, time taken away, pass up Artsy, going for the buzzer beating layup, no good. But Brookline with a stellar second quarter. And after putting up 21 points in the second quarter, Brookline goes into the break leading 30-12. As we go into the halftime break, once again, I'd like to remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Brookline Proven, your local source for home improvement contractors. BHS Sports parent Paul Hom and his team can do anything from remodels to handyman honeydew lists to even snow and ice removal during these colder winter months. They live in Brookline, they work in Brookline, and they know just what a Brookline home needs. Visit brklnproven.com or text Paul at 617-352-8829 to find out more and discuss the scheduling, pricing, and specifics of the services your home needs. Once again, that's brklnproven.com or text 617-352-8829. And thank you again to Brookline Proven for sponsoring this broadcast. And remember, you can see all that information you need about Brookline Proven down in the bottom center of your screen, as well as in the description section down below. Also down in the description section of the video, you can find a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. And once again, all that information down in the description section down below. Brookline 30, Boston Latin 12 here at halftime. Alongside Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. We're going to take a break, mute our mics. We'll be back with the second half, and we'll be swapping roles. Sam will be your play-by-play guy in the second half of this game. We'll all swap to your color commentator. Should be a lot of fun, so don't go away. We'll be back. Hello again, everybody, back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Sam Lowenstein here at Roach Gym at Boston Latin School in Boston, Massachusetts. The Brookline High girls basketball team with a 30-12 lead over the Boston Latin School Wolfpack, and as promised, we're going to swap our roles here. Sam is going to take over on play-by-play while I'll be your color commentator for the rest of the game. Sam, take us away.
Here, start of the second half at Boston Latin School. In the second quarter, the Warriors putting up 21 points after only putting up 5 in the first quarter. Really, they were able to exploit after putting up 9.
9 and 21 makes 30. We love math here at the basketball court.
100%. Jada Kimbrough. Aga-Kitch now on the wing. Nefeli Aga-Kitch looks around, finds Wheeler. Back to Aga-Kitch. Now Emerson Chan, who started the game. Kimbrough back to Aga-Kitch. Finds Chan again. Another wide pass to Kimbrough. Pass to the corner, Wheeler. Back to Kimbrough. Aga-Kitch. Kimbrough again, wide open 3 from the wing, and it just misses. Offensive rebound, though, by Emerson Chan. Takes advantage. Warriors lead 32-12.
Emerson Chan, those are just her first points, but you know she's got the potential to get more. She uses her size so well, whether it's slashing or rebounding.
O'Brien slashing in. Passes it. Open layup is no good for Taylor. Makaleski brings it. Skylar Makaleski already 3 fouls in the game, gone into a bit of foul trouble. Great pass to Kimbrough in the corner. She misses it. Chan going for it. Fight for the ball, and Boston Latin just barely cannot keep it in.
Brookline, their passing has been so good and so fluid tonight. They've struggled with consistency on the 3 ball, but if they can awaken it.
Skylar Makaleski inside. Makaleski missed it. Rebound by O'Brien. O'Brien finds Maeve Ring. Guarded by Kimbrough. Ring, little stutter step there. Looking to make something happen, still holding it. Ring, tight defense from Kimbrough, bounces it, and Makaleski ends up with it. Skylar Makaleski, she has Chan to her right. Makaleski goes up and missed it. Rebound by O'Brien. Yet again, wide open pass, long ball. Finds Taylor. Tight coverage from Emerson Chan, and it goes out of bounds. What a block there by Chan.
And she even got the favorable deflection, looks like.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Emerson Chan, the size she already has as a freshman, the skills she's already showing in her first year. She's not averaging a ton of points this year, but she has a world of potential. Kind of reminds me a little of Makaleski from last year.
I was thinking about that as well. Similar thing, and with the leap that Makaleski made from her freshman to sophomore year, could potentially expect a similar result with Chan. Open 3 for Kimbrough in the corner is too far and missed. Another rebound by O'Brien. She's been all over the place with these rebounds, but blocked by Makaleski.
The classic Skylar smack, especially on the chase down. She's been loving doing that. She's been such a great shot blocker throughout this season. It's been so fun to watch.
I like that, the Skylar smack.
I love it. It's fun to be alliterative.
Inbound for Boston Latin. Inbound by Saravallis, the only senior on the team. O'Brien. 2 passes, 1 from Ring. Left side, tight defense from Wheeler. Now on the inside, O'Brien, guarded by Aga-Kitch. She missed it. Rebound by Chan. Emerson Chan, as the Boston Latin crowd gets a little bit more into it. Aga-Kitch finds Kimbrough. Emerson Chan. Long pass, Aga-Kitch open, defense a bit late getting there, and Aga-Kitch hits it.
Boy, and I know it seems like a small part of the play, but I love Chan's ability to throw passes using her length. She can see across the floor better than some others can and has the length to complete those passes.
Errant pass. Boston Latin gets back. They struggled on transition defense in the second quarter, doing a bit better here in the third. Makaleski, Wheeler on the wing, now finds Chan. Nefeli Aga-Kitch thought about a 3 for a second, finds Chan again. Move to the inside, Emerson Chan, and she missed it. Makaleski trying to keep it in, but it's Boston Latin School ball.
Yeah. Still love the vision there. Chan seeing the lane, getting a good look at the layup. Just got to work on her finishing, and those shots could become lethal in years to come.
Ring gets past Kimbrough, finds Taylor, back to Ring. Ring finds Saravallis. Ring from 3, missed it. Rebound, Makaleski. Makaleski takes it up, finds an open Chan. Chan somehow keeps it in. Acrobatic pass from Emerson Chan. Aga-Kitch misses the shot. Contact. Makaleski is down.
And the foul is going to be on Makaleski. The opponent had the inside leverage, and Makaleski, despite, being on her back there, just overreached and called for the over the back. It's a shame. I was getting ready to say what a good boxing out job she did on the defensive rebound, but 4 fouls, she's going to the bench for sure.
Definitely. She's been in foul trouble ever since the first quarter. Brookline leads by 23. Taking it up is Maeve Houlihan. Houlihan guarded by Hannah Levine now in the game. Levine, the junior. Houlihan, nice bounce pass inside. Maeve Ring, open layup.
That was a really nice off-ball cut by Maeve Ring. Made it look like she was cutting to the outside. Saw Kimbrough was covering her tight and then just darted inside to get an open look.
Chan goes around, almost got it. Emerson Tran trying for an acrobatic layup there around the back. Taking it up is Sarah Valles. Pass to the inside, whistle blown by the referee.
I think that's going to be a reach in on Chan.
It was a very physical first half, especially the first quarter, which was awfully low scoring. Warriors only putting up 9 points in that quarter, scored 21 in the second. Inbound from O'Brien. Now finds Porto Royale. Porto Royale pass knocked down by Artsy out of bounds.
Yeah, we talked about her ability to scrap for loose balls, and Shiri Artsy, this is her first varsity season. She's coming back for her senior year next year. I think she still has another step to unlock in her game. She could be really special, both this year and next year.
Definitely, and she's been solidly offensively. 6 points for her. Shot contested is no good by Sarah Valles. Aga-Kitch finds Chan. Levine for 3. Hannah Levine, wide open 3. It's short though. Rebound by O'Brien. O'Brien finds Houlihan. Houlihan covered by Chan and Artsy. She gets fouled, going to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's 2 quick fouls on Chan. I mean, it's the second half. You'll have a little more space to do that, but Brookline has got to be careful or they're going to start running out of bigs. They've already got Makaleski sitting in foul trouble. Chan, another one of their bigger players. They still got Artsy and some other players that can, in a pinch, maybe step in, but they want to maintain as much size as they can.
Definitely, but some of these players, Jesse, in this game, one thing I've noticed is that some of these players, we've talked about this in the first half as well, who maybe don't make as much of an offensive impact normally, they've done quite well on the offensive end. A player like Ivy Wheeler, although in the starting lineup, more known for her defense. Shiri Artsy as well in her first year of varsity has 6 points. People are stepping up for the Warriors.
Absolutely, Sam. You're completely correct there. Ivy Wheeler, she has had a couple of double-digit outings in her career, but this season she's only averaging 2.8 points per game, and she's got 6 tonight. And then Shiri Artsy, she's matched her career high with 6 points so far tonight. She's averaging 1.9 points per game, and she's got 6. And on a night when one of your leading scorers in Skylar Makaleski is in foul trouble and hasn't been able to put up as much, having other players step up like this is really big for Brookline.
Oh, definitely, and also the points have been very spread around for the Warriors. Nefeli Aga-Kitch, she's the leading scorer for the Warriors with 8, but then think about it, Wheeler with 6, Kimbrough with 6, 2 players with 2, Makaleski with 2, Wood with 2, and then Allison Levy with 3.
And Artsy with 6.
Artsy with 6 as well. It's been awfully spread around for the Warriors. Free throw right now for Houlihan, the second out of 2, and she makes it. 20-point game here with 3:29 to go in the third. Aga-Kitch taking it up, guarded by O'Brien. Aga-Kitch, handoff to Levine, back to Aga-Kitch. Aga-Kitch, guarded by O'Brien, goes inside. Aga-Kitch gets the layup off the glass.
Good work by Aga-Kitch, coming isolated down that side to keep other defenders away from double-teaming her.
Nefeli Aga-Kitch, leading scorer for the Warriors, 10 points she has. Bounce to Houlihan. Houlihan guarded by Levine, finds Taylor. Taylor to the inside, shot Good shot contest from Nefeli Agakic. Taken by O'Brien. O'Brien on the ground, and they call a travel against Boston Latin.
Yeah, it was a heads-up snag by O'Brien, but unfortunately grabbed it while she was falling, and they're going to call the travel on that one.
Chan. Warriors lead by 22. Emerson Chan finds Agakic. Wheeler in the corner. Ivy Wheeler too far. Rebound by O'Brien. Kenzie O'Brien, so many rebounds that she's gotten in this game. What a pass by O'Brien. Left side there. Three ball in the corner, and it goes down. The only senior on Boston Latin. She has a moment there. Makes it three. 19-point game. Warriors still lead. Chan, the crowd erupting on the Boston Latin side here in Boston. Agakic, she hits it three, and just like that, Nefeli Agakic goes the other way and gets a three ball for the Warriors. Lead by 22. Taken by Ring. Agakic in the paint, and Ring can't get it to go. Nefeli Agakic going around. Agakic, she's got it in one. What a shot by Agakic.
Listen, what did we talk about in the second quarter, Sam? Getting the transition game going. Good unselfish play from Artsy after picking up that rebound, recognizing she didn't really have a lane to run with, getting the passway to Agakic. And this is what Agakic can do as she hits the and one. She can fight through with strength and physicality, as well as some good agile moves when she drives to the basket.
Nefeli Agakic, the senior captain, what a performance. She has had 16 points tonight for the Warriors, leading scorer, now taking it to Houlihan. Guarded by Levine. Hannah Levine's done very solid for Brookline inside.
No,
and the
they're
shot's
saying
waved
no
off.
shot.
The shot
I think
was
they said no shot.
no shot. Maeve Ring will still go to the free throw line, but
No, she won't.
wait a minute.
The players didn't know, but the refs do. That's why you got to keep an eye on the refs, not the players, because the refs know what the call is.
Inbound now after the nullified make foul before the shot. Inbound from O'Brien. Ring. Tight defense from Wheeler, now Taylor. Ring again. On the wing. O'Brien lost it. Recalibrates, knocked down by Artsy, but they call it over the back.
Yeah, I like the idea. Brookline has been very aggressive attacking the passing lanes today, and it's worked out a lot for them in both their games this week, but that time a little over-aggressive from Artsy, and now we got bonus free throws, Sam. So even though that wasn't a shooting foul, Taylor's still going to the line for two.
Taylor with 3 points so far for BLS. Tied for the leading scorer, Maeve Ring with 3. Patterson has 2. Houlihan has 3. Sarvalles with 3. That senior moment for her. 3 ball on her senior night, the only senior on the BLS team. Hannah Levine wide open in the corner. She hit it. Hannah Levine makes the shot, and it's 46-19 Warriors trying to pile on the lead here in Boston. Taken up by Houlihan. Houlihan bounced to Taylor. Taylor outside shot from the wing. No good from O'Brien. Artsy taking it up. Brookline tried to get some offense going in transition, but Artsy lost it. Boston Latin got back. Ring juggled it to herself. She's on the ground. Contact.
Yeah, Ring just lost the handle on it, was going a little too fast for herself there. But Artsy also losing the ball. She's lost it a couple of times.
And she loses it there. Transition game now for BLS. Shot is no good. Offensive rebound by Ring, pass to O'Brien. O'Brien slashing through, and Kenzie O'Brien can't get it to go. Agakic grabbed it for a second. Fight for it.
Looks like a foul is going to be called on Houlihan there. That's her 4th. Good, no, they're keeping her in. But they're bringing in a first-timer for Brookline, or now Houlihan's subbing out, but Brookline bringing in their number 11, Zara Chappell, to get some playing time.
Zara Chappell, her and Mokoleski, both sophomores on the team. Agakic, floater, no good. Rebound by Sarah Valles, and she gets it out to Ring. Ring Pass to O'Brien. O'Brien back. Straightaway three is no good from the only senior Sarah Valles. Chapel gets it, gets out to Agakic. Clock winding down the third quarter. 3.4 seconds to go. Errant pass out of bounds.
Yeah, Wheeler just overshot that one.
Boston Latin now. Maeve Ring. Chapel's in the area. Long shot from Ring, and it's no good. Air balls. Brookline leads it 46-19 at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, Brookline just piling it on at this point. I mean, at this point, they're just cruising to victory. Looks like almost a foregone conclusion that the Warriors are going to pick up their fourth straight win. But as we go into this break between quarters, I remind you folks, once again, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Brookline Proven, your local source for home improvement contractors. BHS sports parent Paul Hom and his team can do anything from remodels to handyman honey-do lists and even snow and ice removal during these colder winter months. They live in Brookline, they work in Brookline, and they know just what a Brookline home needs. Visit brklnproven.com or text Paul at 617-352-8829 to find out more and discuss the scheduling, pricing, and specifics of the services your home needs. Once again, that's brklnproven.com or text 617-352-8829. And thank you again to Brookline Proven for sponsoring this broadcast. And remember, you can see all that information about Brookline Proven down in the bottom center of your screen, as well as in the description section. Sam, back to you.
Inbound now for Boston Latin. Warriors lead 46-19 at the end of the third quarter. Warriors put up 16 points in that third, and whistle blown here. Looking for the referee call.
Looks like they called a foul on Levy.
Foul on Allison Levy there. Inbound now for Boston Latin U. Corner three, no good by Patterson. Scrum for it. Boston Latin gets it. It's Porto Real. Bumped with Makaleski. Pass to the outside. Shot from U is no good. Another offensive rebound. Saravales. Porto Real now. Pass to U. Guarded by Levy. U bounces it into Patterson, and Patterson lost it. Levy ends up with it. Hannah Levine got it to Levy, and now it's Kimbrough. Kimbrough gets through, and she's got the basket. Jada Kimbrough finesses through the defense. Levy, Makaleski, back to Kimbrough. Finds Makaleski. Quick handoff back to Kimbrough. Brookline looking to add to their total. Skylar Makaleski. Chapel now, and a travel against Brookline. It goes against Zara Chapel.
Yeah, foot just dragged a little bit, counted as an extra step. Unfortunate, Brookline was moving the ball pretty well on that possession.
Now for Boston Latin, it's Young McZeek back in the game. Patterson, back to Young McZeek. Porto Real. Makaleski in front of her, inside to Young McZeek. She's a force on the boards. Past Patterson. Patterson goes up, and she gets the basket. Two-pointer for Boston Latin. Kimbrough, guarded by U, finds Chapel. Zara Chapel, now to Levy. Levy back to Kimbrough. Levy back to Kimbrough. Chapel looks around, and another travel.
No, that one
Wait
was
a minute.
double dribble.
Double dribble. They went,
Yeah.
the signal from the referee was a bit different.
Yeah.
Was partially blocked.
Similar idea, dribbling violation, just different one.
But if there's a time for mistakes like that to happen, it's going to be at this point in the game. And speaking of which, another one of that category. This time it's against Boston Latin.
That's true, but Zara Chapel, in the limited playing time she gets here at the varsity level, you know she wants to make the most of it and show what she can do, especially for future seasons where she might get more playing time.
Oh, 100%. Makaleski pass out to Levine. 3 balls no good. Rebound by Porto Real. Gets it to Patterson. Levine guarding her. Finds the senior. three ball is no good from Sarah Valles. Makaleski. Brookline just looking to salt this one away here on BLS's senior night. The ball is stuck. The ball is stuck on the side of the rim. You don't see that every day.
No, but it's always funny when it happens.
It's always fun.
It's always a silly thing. It's like everything about basketball is such constant movement that when the ball stops moving like that, it is the weirdest, most jarring feeling in the world as a basketball fan. But they've knocked it loose, so we'll be able to get back to it pretty quick.
Makes me wonder, what are the chances of getting the ball stuck when you think about it?
Oh my gosh, let's let some of the data nerds figure that one out. See how many shots have been attempted in such and such seasons and how many times has that happened.
Makes me think about my math class and probabilities and everything. Makaleski, probability on that shot was not particularly high. No foul on the play. Young McZeek, double teamed, shoots it, and draws a foul. That's incredible.
Yeah, I understand the foul call there. What I struggle a bit more to understand is no foul on Makaleski's shot the other way. She's had a lot of shots tonight under the hoop where I was surprised that a foul wasn't called. But, you know, you got to live with the bounces and you got to live with the whistles.
Makaleski got into foul trouble early, has stayed in foul trouble throughout this game, but the Warriors have really picked up the slack. Makaleski just 2 points, still making an impact, of course, but not as big of an offensive output as usual. Young McZeek makes the second free throw. Brookline leads 48-22 here in the fourth quarter. About 5:10 to go in the game. Kimbrough. Makaleski sets the screen. Kimbrough. Makaleski inside and another travel.
Man, I don't know about that one, but I always say you got to respect that it's the ref's call to make. Even if you disagree with it, you got to respect it.
Guarded by Levine. Kimbrough came in behind for a second. Spins around. No travel called there. Three ball is good. What a shot in the corner. Mia Saravallis, 2 3 balls for her. The only senior, and what a senior night moment. Ball goes out of play off the foot of young McZeek. Inbound for Brookline. You have to love it, Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
Saravallis making those 2 3 balls. The crowd showing out for her, and even though Brookline's up right now by this margin, just nice to see the fans get into it.
Yeah, no, it's been a tough day for Boston Latin. They were able to keep their game against Brookline much closer last year, and even Saravallis, one of the few returning scorers from that game from last year, hasn't been able to generate as much offense this time. She had 10 points against Brookline in their game last year, just 6 so far tonight, but still, you know, even in a tougher offensive night for the Wolfpack, getting some nice moments here and there.
Oh, definitely. Always nice to see. Again, she's the only senior on the varsity team for Boston Latin, so it's awfully nice to see her make those shots and get the appreciation from the crowd.
Absolutely.
About to come back, 4:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Warriors on top of BLS 48-25 after an awfully tight first quarter. Brookline only scored 9, and for the first 3 minutes of the game, we did not have a single basket for a good while. There were more fouls than shots made. Also points, but plenty of offense with the exception of that first quarter for the Warriors. Some long passes here from Brookline. Makaleski, open shot from the wing. Makaleski tried to bank it in. Rebound, now it's Patterson. Patterson, open three. Saravallis, and that one just missed. Goes out of bounds, inbound for Brookline.
Yeah, it's nice that they're continuing to get the senior involved, and you know, Brookline might not be covering as tightly, especially on the outside here in the waning minutes. See if we can get a few extra senior moments.
Artsy inside, missed it. Offensive rebound, Makaleski gets it to Kimbrough, and now Levine. And one interesting thing, Jesse, this Boston Latin school team last year, they had a record of 20-1, so just a rebuilding the year for them. Three ball from Levy is no good. Mokoleski got her hand in there behind Porto Real, goes out of bounds and inbound for BLS. But yeah, you look at this team last year, Boston Latin 20-1 record, so impressive that Brookline beat them. That was the only win. That was the only loss for Boston Latin School. Wait a minute. Maybe looking at, excuse me, I was looking at the boys varsity roster, not the girls.
Yeah, last year the Boston Latin girls team was 6-14 and missed the playoffs.
Again, pardon me for that. Goes out of bounds there, 3:38 to go. Warriors on top 48-25 with Sarah Valles.
Yeah, it looks like they called the second personal foul on Levy there.
You with it. Guarded by Levine. Pass to the right side, Porto Real. Guarded by Mokoleski. Porto Real tipped by Kimbrough, but getting right behind it is Cordero. Now the senior Sarah Valles. Cordero back to Porto Real. Porto Real, Mokoleski has it. Skylar Mokoleski one-on-one goes up, and she's gotten in one. 50-25 Warriors.
Yeah, Porter Real just kind of lost it off her foot there, and Mokoleski, I mean, when you give her that much room to work, she's going to get it. Even if she's not having the most explosive night by her standards, she'll take advantage of those opportunities easily.
And she still made a big impact for the Warriors. Goes to show a player like Mokoleski, as she makes the and-one free throw, even when she's not having a big offensive night, she can still make an impact. That's a true testament of a star player. You with it for Boston Latin. Warriors lead by 26. You. Back to Sarah Valles, looked for a three. Guarded up tight by Chappell. Goes off the backboard, Mokoleski recovers it. Under 3 minutes to go in the game for BLS's senior night. Mokoleski, Levine, Levy in the corner. Sarah Valles on her. And a travel on Levy.
Yeah, I think that might have been a case of the foot dragging there when she stopped. And that's why they called it.
You. Levine guarding. Screen from Porto Real. Mid-range shot, no good. Offensive rebound, though, from Young McZeek. Young McZeek continues to have an impact on the boards for BLS. She's been really a bright spot in this game for them.
Yeah, it's been a tough game for Boston Latin. Bright spots have been few and far between, but Young McZeek has had a strong presence down low on rebounds.
Boston Latin scorers, Sarah Valles with 6. She's the leading scorer for them, and then Patterson has 4. A couple players have 3. Mokoleski. Warriors lead by 26. Guarded by you. With the clock winding down the game, Shiri Artsy. Open mid-range shot. Young McZeek was turned around for a second. Missed it. And Boston Latin now has it. Cordero. Screen from you behind Sarah Valles. Good defense from Chappell. And a foul called.
Looks like they called that foul on Chappell. Going to be her first there.
Well, Zahira Chappell's done a good job on defense, the foul there, but she's had a strong presence in her playing time here late in this game. First shot misses. Some more cheers, and it's always nice to see. The only senior for BLS on their senior night. She makes it 7 points for them. Had 10 last year against the Warriors. Now she has 8. Some more cheers, and again, it's just all about these things. This is what you have to love about sports.
Yeah, and she's coming out to an ovation from the fans here. Mia Saravales checking out on her senior night game. Nice moment for her there.
Such a nice moment. No matter what the score is, it's always the spirit of the game. Mokoleski faked the pass right. Artsy back Mokoleski. Thought about a 3. Was Levine, finds Levy, banks it in. 54-27 Warriors.
Yeah, always nice to continue getting other players involved. Allison Levy now at 6, joining a cavalcade of players with around that much.
And speaking of Allison Levy, ends up with it now. Pass to Chappell, miscommunication, a bit behind, but Chappell just didn't quite see it there.
Yeah, it looked like Chappell wasn't ready for that pass. You know, teachable moment, though, for Chappell to always be alert when running in transition.
Definitely these players like Levy and Levine, when they get open, we've talked about this in some of the games before, some of these bench players for the Warriors, you give them open looks, they're going to drain shots. They can be killer shooters, and that's what we're seeing tonight. Fight for it with Levine and Cordero.
Yeah, boy, Cordero just lost track of her dribble there. That was just a rough play. But, yeah, you know, these players off the bench for Brookline, they might not be as consistent on the scoreboard as some of the Warriors' stars this year, but they have had their moments where they can really get going, especially from the outside.
Young McZeek. Pass to the right, and it's a 3-ball, and it's no good. Fight for it on the right side. That shot was taken by Murphy.
Boy, that was a flying save from out of bounds there from Anastas.
Young McZeek, under a minute now to go in the game.
Did we just have an errant horn there or something? Did they forget to reset the... Oh, that's a shot clock violation, I think, Sam. That's what the buzzer was, because it was an air ball on the shot, and then Brookline never got control of it, so the shot clock never resets. It only resets if it hits the rim or if Brookline takes possession.
And that play just sums up the kind of night that it's been for BLS. Chappell from the corner. Chappell, she loves those spots on the corner. That's one thing I've seen. A lot of mid-range shots from the corner. And also that 3. That one just rimmed out, but almost made it in. 3-ball now for Boston Latin. Offensive rebound inside's no good. Monkaleski grabs it. She's mobbed. There's 20 seconds left in the game. Warriors up 54 to 27.
Shot clock's off. They're just going to hold it and run out the clock. This one's over.
The Brookline Warriors win it 54 to 27 on BLS's senior night. A dominant win for the Warriors after a scrappy first quarter. Brookline only had 9 points in that first, but then put up 21 in the second. Really just pulled away from there, and it was that late stage of the first quarter where things started to open up a little bit. We didn't have a single point for the first 3 minutes, something I've never seen before. Valiant effort.
You'll see it again.
Valiant effort.
Happens sometimes in high school.
Valiant effort from Boston Latin. Great defense on their end. Mia Saravallis, the only senior for them tonight, leading scorer with 8. She did quite well, scored 2 3-balls, but what a win for the Warriors. A dominant showing in a big game here at this point in the season.
And with that win, Brookline improves to 10-7 on the season. They officially have more wins this year than they had last year. Their second straight season improving in win total. They went from 1 win to 9 last year, and now they go from 9 to at least 10 this year, with still 2 more games on the docket for the season. Boston Latin falls to 6-11. Individual point totals for Brookline. Nefeli Agakich leading the way with 16. Jada Kimbrough with 8. Ivy Wheeler, Allison Levy, and Shiri Artsy with 6 points each. Artsy tying her career high. Skylar Monkaleski with 5 while she battled foul trouble. Hannah Levine with 3. Izzy Wood and Emerson Chan with 2 points each. For Boston Latin, like you said, Sam, Sara Valles with 8 points on senior night to lead the way for Boston Latin. Patterson and Taylor with 4 points each. Ring, Houlihan, and Young McZeek with 3 each. And O'Brien with 2. That's going to do it for this broadcast. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsor for today, Brookline Proven. We're going to be broken down like if I could wave a magic wand and make this all disappear, I would, but I'm taking it down. I'm taking it down. I'm telling you, my broadcast is
We're going now.
We're leaving. We're getting ready to leave. I'm not doing this thing. I'm done. As I was saying, I'd like to once again thank our local sponsor, Brookline Proven, for sponsoring this broadcast. Brookline Proven, your local source for home improvement contractors. BHS Sports parent Paul Hom and his team can do anything from remodels to handyman honeydew lists and even snow and ice removal during these colder winter months. They live in Brookline, they work in Brookline, and they know just what a Brookline home needs. Visit brklnproven.com or text Paul at 617-352-8829 to find out more and discuss the scheduling, pricing, and specifics of the services your home needs. Once again, that's brklnproven.com or text 617-352-8829. Thank you again to Brookline Proven for sponsoring this broadcast. And since they're wanting us to get out of here fast, I'm just going to break this one down. Brookline 54, Boston Latin 27. Alongside Sam Lowenstein here at Roach Gym in Boston, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.